March 16th, 2016. I cannot believe Trump is likely to be an actual serious candidate for president. July the 21st, 2016. Trump is a disaster. I have no idea how destabilizing his presidency would be. August 26, 2016. Just went to the Southern Virginia Walmart. I could smell the Trump support. October the 19th, 2016. Trump is a idiot. He's unable to provide a coherent answer. Sorry to the kids out there. These are the people that made a decision that Clinton didn't do anything wrong, and a counterintelligence investigation of the Trump campaign was warranted.
Investigation also uncovered text messages between other FBI employees expressing support for candidate and President Trump, correct?
That's correct.
So FBI employees held personal political views that were both favorable and unfavorable toward the candidate at that time.
That's correct.
The chairman gave an uncharacteristic, flowery, heated opening that went on for some 40 minutes and produced a lengthy record of emails from Lisa Page and Peter Strzok, which repeatedly demonstrated statements of hostility toward candidate Donald Trump. He went on to say these were the people in charge. When I read your summary of your findings, you didn't find either of them to be in charge, did you?
On this investigation, we did not.
Okay. When it comes to expletives, you also, on page 339 of your report, found some agents at the FBI who had an exactly opposite political viewpoint. Correct. And were very positive toward candidate Trump and very open in their use of expletives to demonstrate that.
Yeah. And those individuals, to be clear, were not part of the Crossfire Hurricane team, but were in a different field office interacting with the Crossfire Hurricane team.
And I hope we can all concede the point. We don't believe anyone in this capacity, this delicate capacity with life-changing decision-making every single day should be so politically biased as to call into question their values and their character.
That's correct, and I made this point last year when this issue came up. Individuals at the Justice Department and the FBI are allowed to have their political views. They're allowed to be voters. They're allowed to be engaged citizens. They should be.
This is Senators Feinstein and Durbin during today's Senate Judiciary hearing with Inspector General Horowitz over the release of the IG report. Now, the GOP had hinged their hopes on the notion that the IG report would prove that there was political bias that led to the opening of the Russia investigation, and that the whole thing would be rendered completely void and Trump would be exonerated. Trump himself said that it led to a legal wiretapping of Trump Tower. He went on the campaign trail and to this day told the story of, quote, two lovers in the FBI allegedly conspiring to overthrow him. The conspiracy theories go on and on. But when the IG report came out this week, it showed that, in fact, there was no political bias and that the investigation into the Trump campaign's possible collusion with Russia was legally justified. But look, we knew that. The fact that we even needed a full-blown investigation to look into some random charge that Trump blurted out during some stream of consciousness diatribe as the result of some errant synapse firing in his brain is not only absurd, but a complete and total waste of taxpayer funds. Of course the Russia investigation was justified. We already knew that Don Jr., Kushner, and Manafort met with a Kremlin-linked lawyer for dirt on Hillary Clinton at Trump Tower. We knew that Paul Manafort shared polling data with Konstantin Kilimnik, who has ties to the Kremlin. We knew that Mike Flynn discussed lifting sanctions on Russia, which is a violation of the Logan Act, prohibiting citizens from interfering in foreign diplomacy. We knew that Trump asked Russia on national television to hack Hillary Clinton's emails, and that Russia attempted to do just that only hours later. We knew that Trump committed obstruction of justice on 10 separate occasions so that those aforementioned examples of collusion would never be revealed. It's like we've got video evidence, witnesses, and a confession that someone stole a car, but now we're wondering if we should have ever been looking into that person in the first place. When you've already caught someone committing a crime because of a mountain of evidence, then yeah, it's probably safe to say that the investigation into them was justified. But what was news in the IG report is that the example Trump had so heavily leaned on to prove bias, the text messages between Lisa Page and Peter Strzok, actually showed up as biased in favor of Trump. According to the IG report, texts were unearthed between two other FBI agents who texted that it, quote, just got real. I saw a lot of scared MFers on my way to work this morning. Start looking for a new job, fellas. Haha. to which the other agent responded, LOL, and the first one wrote, come January, I'm gonna just get a big bowl of popcorn and sit back and watch. The other agent replied, that's hilarious. In another set of texts, one supervisory agent of the FBI wrote that seeing Trump win was like watching a Super Bowl comeback, later saying that he, quote, didn't want a criminal to be in the White House. And yet, after seeing this information released in this report, not only that there was no evidence of bias in opening the investigation against Trump, but that there were actually texts from Republican members of the FBI showing bias in his favor, still Lindsey Graham opted to use his time during the hearing to read yet more text messages between Lisa Page and Peter Strzok. It's like Republicans are physically incapable of realizing when their defense has been completely dismantled and knowing when to regroup. And that was put on full display at the very top, when Trump, after the IG report was released, just straight up pretended that it validated his complaints.
Okay, thank you very much. The IG report just came out, and I was just briefed on it, and it's a disgrace what's happened with respect to the things that were done to our country. It should never again happen to another president. It is incredible, far worse than I would have ever thought possible. And it's an embarrassment to our country. It's dishonest. It's everything that a lot of people thought it would be, except far worse. So I'm going to get some very detailed briefings, but they are. It's a very sad day when I see that. Very sad day when a lot of people see that. They had known nothing. It was concocted. And you say what you want. That was a probably something that's never happened in the history of our country.
Of course, it didn't validate his complaints at all, but has that really ever stopped him from spouting lies that advance his own agenda without regard to any semblance of reality whatsoever? The simple fact is that people are allowed to have political opinions. They are allowed to care about the political process so long as they don't let their political opinions interfere with their work. And the IG report revealed that they didn't. Case closed. So Republicans like Lindsey Graham can continue to bury his head in the sand and pretend that his now debunked defenses of Trump are still in any way valid, but they're honestly serving no purpose other than showing just how much of a partisan hack he truly is.